Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is Kevin once again, doing a podcast. I'm podcasting from Singapore. That's where I'm based. Thinking about what topic I should be doing today, and I was speaking to a class of diploma students. I teach travel tourism, and I tend to talk about responsible tourism or sustainable tourism quite often. And there is this article which I shared to a group of young students, which I found on the internet, and it's entitled. It's a 2013. That means 9 years ago. It's a 2013 internet article, and it's entitled "Why Responsible Tourism is the Key to Saving the Mountain Gorilla." So if you haven't heard of the term gorilla tourism, it's basically referring to tourists going to places to see the mountain gorillas. And gorilla tourism has been around in certain places, particularly certain parts of Africa, like Uganda and Rwanda, for some time. And so the article talks about the growth of gorilla tourism in these few countries, Rwanda, Uganda. It doesn't make mention of another third destination that is well known for gorilla tourism, that is the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. And one part of the article says that gorilla tourism has helped mountain gorillas make a successful comeback from the brink of extinction. So when you have tourists going into parts of the country to undertake this form of tourism, it actually can spark conservation if it's done in a proper way. It can encourage local organizations and local communities to think about protecting and conserving the mountain gorillas. And so that's why there is this sentence that says that this form of tourism has actually helped bring about a successful comeback from of the gorillas being very, very close to extinction. The article goes on to say that in the mid to the late 1970s, the gorilla population actually declined to less than 400. The latest count is there is about 880. So you can see that gorilla tourism has indeed, supported conservation exercises. There are people who are employed. There are local people in these two countries who find employment in this form of travel. Gorilla tourism has created jobs for some of the local people there. And one interesting part of the article says that gorilla trekking, which is what the tourists will do when they come to Rwanda and Uganda to undertake this form of tourism. Gorilla trekking has not only become a vital conservation fundraising tool. Particularly in Uganda, this form of tourism actually contributes approximately 80% of the National Wildlife Authority's budget. That means the article is trying to tell us that the gorilla tourism actually finances the bulk of wildlife and habitat conservation in Uganda as a whole. So gorilla tourism seems to have another positive impacts in the sense that it has created quite a lot of funds revenues going into the tourism industry in the country, which acts as a budget for the government to finance wildlife conservation. So it's a very educational and very interesting piece of writing. This article's title, which I shall read again: Why Responsible Tourism is the Key to Saving the Mountain Gorilla. The mountain gorilla's population was at risk 40 over years ago. There's always this fear that if tourism is growing and if the growth of tourism is not managed the way that it should be, then the gorilla population might shrink again, So, very short podcast. I think one of the questions we can ask ourselves is going forward, and maybe to a certain extent in light of the current pandemic, how can gorilla tourism continue to thrive the way that it has been in the past 20-30 years, now with a lot of restrictions and social distancing measures put in place? What are the implications the COVID-19 pandemic might have or may have on this form of tourism in these few places in the African continent? Have you listened to some of the other podcasts that we have been doing? I thank you for joining me. This is Kevin, and today is January 27th, and next week is a wonderful week. Singapore is one of the countries in Asia that celebrates Chinese New Year, and may I wish you a happy Chinese New Year, and I'll be back soon, probably in February. And if you would like us to speak on certain topics, you can reach me, or you can reach us at kevin@crts.asia. I will say that again. You can reach us at kevin@crts.asia. And CRTS means the Center for Responsible Tourism Singapore. Thank you and goodbye.